Hi guys, and welcome to another episode. Today I'm going to introduce you to two lovely ladies who are founders of Double Dutch. They are Joyce and Raisa de Haas. So I'm going to introduce them to you now. Let's invite them and get them on the episode.
Hello,
Joyce, how
how are you?
Good, hoe gaat het?
Heel goed.
Good. So I've just introduced you,
Yeah.
and kind of just said you are from Double Dutch. Can you just give us an overview of what Double Dutch is?
Yeah, of course. So, together with my twin sister Raisa, we are the founders of Double Dutch. We offer a range of 12 premium innovative mixers and tonic waters. So we do flavors like cucumber watermelon, pomegranate and basil. We have a most awarded Indian tonic water. And so we offer soft drinks that are lower in calories and sugars and are really developed to drink with your whole back bar of spirits or be savored on its own.
And is Raisa coming to join us today?
Yeah, Raisa is here, but still I'm here.
You're...
See or
Yes,
yeah.
hello. You have the background already. Wonderful. So I was speaking to before Joyce on the phone, and because you are two lovely Dutch founders as well. And
Yeah.
I was just wondering what city did you grow up in? Because I am also a national, as you can see.
Oh, really? We were born in Eindhoven in the south.
Oh, in Eindhoven.
We grew up most of our lives in Antwerp, on the border close to in Belgium.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And who is the oldest out of you two?
I am 11 minutes.
Okay. We just go now and have a look at your branding, because I worked in corporate and editorial design for over a decade now, and you've got it there behind you, Raisa, already.
Yeah.
Just have a share of the screen now of your products. Here is the logo.
Yeah.
Of you both. Just going to show it on the screen for everybody to see as well.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
So how was it, the process in creating your brand? Because you both did it from scratch, didn't you? And yeah, what were you influenced by? Because when I look at it, I see very surrealism in it, that type of art from Dali, a bit like your flavoring and pairings, you don't expect these to work so beautifully together.
Yeah, absolutely. So our whole brand world, we call it the world of Double Dutch, and it's all about discovering unexpected points in packaging. So every flavor actually has its own bespoke different brand world, which is very different from each flavor. And so you'll always see two dancing or drinking girls, which is relating to Raisa and I and our background in mixology and in bartending skills. And then you will find lots of different clues, both to the story of Double Dutch, but also to the history of the flavors that we use. So for example, this is our brand world, which is a mix of all 12 flavors together. But if you go to our retail packs and our specific flavor packaging, you will see, for example, in our Indian tonic, there are hints to India. And so you have like a big elephant, you have like juniper berries, you have the history on how grapefruit was discovered. And the idea is that if you look at Double Dutch and into our packaging, every time you look at it, you will find and discover new things and new unexpected kind of points of discovery. And that's the same as our flavors. We are all about doubling your expectations. So whether you have our cucumber watermelon tonight with a London dry gin, you can have it tomorrow just on its own, or your boyfriend can have it in a mojito serve twist with a white rum and some mint and lime. And so it's all about unexpected flavor combinations that kind of really double your expectations. And so that is very much the hints in our brand world as well.
Okay, and if you see here from your packaging as well, and the logo, how was the kind of process for that? Did you kind of just have an idea for it, or were you influenced by anything?
In terms of packaging, we always knew that we wanted to incorporate the story because I think we have a unique and authentic story and consumers want to relate to that. So we always try to, we definitely knew that we wanted to incorporate the two of us. And then actually our logo, the crest, it says perfectly balanced, which is on the one hand side, a wink to the fact that we are double Dutch, double flavored, twinning is winning, and so it's everything about balance, and twice is much better than 2 times 1.
Yeah.
And then actually the crest and its shape is inspired by the national crest of the Netherlands, but then it's like with 2 lions. So it's lots of little clues to like heritage of the brand and starting point of where we started with double Dutch.
Yeah, I thought today as well just to wear the national colour in
Yes.
my shirt today. And also you were talking about the Indian tonic. So that was actually the first drink that I had from you guys
Nice.
in the folder, and it was at this bar in Harwich, and it had a very Dutch theme. So there were stroop waffles in the jars and things.
Oh wow.
So it's here. Can you see it on the screen?
Yeah.
It was from 2020. And so
Okay, amazing.
I was with a group of friends and I had a gin with your tonic water then. So I even have the photo still.
That's great.
Yeah. And let's have a look at this. Okay, because you were saying you did mixology, and that's kind of in your background as well.
As a hobby, very much as a hobby. Always experimented with different types of flavors. Used to, at university, we always used to make our own flavored soda waters for friends. And our friends would always bring like a really nice bottle of gin or vodka or tequila or whatever spirit. And then Raisa and I, rather than hosting parties and making dinners, we hosted parties and made our own flavored soda waters to drink with the spirits that our friends would bring. And so we would experiment with different types of herbs and fruits and vegetables, and then would heat it up with some sugar in a saucepan, create like different types of syrups basically, and then we mixed and matched those syrups, added some carbonized water, and would always do that. Our friends always called us the Tonic twins, and it was just like a fun hobby that we had.
Yeah, it sounds like as well you are definitely a purebred entrepreneur, because that's how it begins, when you kind of have this experimental idea and then you create flavors, and then now it's just an amazing brand where you are global. And with the whole science behind making your blends, and we talk about kind of your molecular pairings, and one of my favorite flavors is the, what is it, pink grapefruit one.
Yeah.
I just love it. I love the aromas as well, because normally when I have like a soft drink or something, I don't think about the aromas, but even the smell of it is just exquisite. How can you just kind of describe a bit more about the mixology and the molecular pairings?
So we basically, all our flavors are where we start from is we always want to work, all our flavors are double flavored. So we do pomegranate and basil, cucumber and watermelon, or Indian tonic has a hint of juniper berry and grapefruit. So we basically always start one based on trends or inspired by food, or for example, with our pomegranate and basil, we knew that we wanted to make a flavor with basil. And then we basically look at how basil is kind of made up in terms of aromas, because how you perceive flavor, 20% comes from taste, and that is people can actually only identify between 5 different tastes, which is sweet, sour, umami, and what's the fifth one?
Bitter, sour, sweet.
Bitter. But in terms of aromas and smell, that's actually what makes up 80% of how you perceive flavor. And there are tens of thousands of different smells that you can identify. So that's kind of our starting point. We look at kind of on a more objective way. We have a flavor developer who looks at that, and they look at, okay, basil, what makes basil actually to what basil is, and then they pair ingredients that share the same key aromas, basically.
Oh, okay. And how have you kind of seen the process of going through your kitchen and making those blends there to now on a larger scale, how have you kind of done that process?
I'm sorry, I need to go. I told Heather already that I only had 15 minutes, so Reisa will join the rest of it. But it was very lovely to meet you.
Yeah, you too. Amazing. See you later. Thank you for
See you later. Bye-bye. Bye.
I don't think it's too different. We still do our flavor development. Kind of the first stage it's ourselves, but then we work with a more professional company who basically commercialize our recipes, and they go and find the right ingredients where we can find them, and they find the different limes and lemons and ingredients for us. So obviously it's principle stays the same.
And also, you are both women leaders in your market, and you're distributed over 25 countries worldwide. What are you doing now in terms of being more sustainable as a company? Because I have read that you are gaining B Corp status, and people are becoming more conscious and more aware of what they're eating and drinking.
Yes, very much. I think the only positive thing probably from COVID has been that we found the time to really deeper dive into the whole sustainability aspect. I think it's been always a personal passion for Joyce and I, and we've supported kind of personally initiatives around sustainability, but in the beginning with Double Dutch, our focus was on driving revenue. So I think the good thing about COVID was that really gave us a time to go deeper into our supply chain. So we've managed to decrease our plastic by, for example, 30%. We work with suppliers who demonstrate commitment to ongoing standards improvements. Our cans and bottles are recyclable. We partner with, for example, Too Good To Go platform to ensure that best before dates don't go to waste, but that they have a second life. We've become carbon neutral as a company since January 2000, since January this year. So we've offset over 20,000 tons of CO2 since date, and we are now pursuing B Corp status. So it's a lengthy process. So we'll see when we get it, but hopefully that will be hopefully in 2022. And we're just investigating paths to carbon neutral products rather than just carbon neutral company. We are partnering with, for example, Treekly to enable weekly tree planting through team activities. So small things where we're trying to make a positive impact. It's the beginning of an ongoing journey on ESG. So, for example, we've also launched a female bartender scholarship to support aspiring bartender talent in the drinks industry that we've now run for our second year. In 2021 was our first year, now it's our second year. We are rerunning that in 2023. So we're just trying to do better on more fronts, but we recognize that it's a long path, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. But you're saying these are small things, but if you're doing so many of them, they compound and they do make a really, really great company and going forward in this area as well.
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of your business as well, now it's so worldwide and it's in so many countries. How is your business structured now, and how have you kind of altered from back in the day to how you are now?
We've got a better support team, a bigger team, and I think it's about getting the base right in terms of finance. And obviously, we have more support in marketing as well as in sales. So I think it's all thanks to a really supportive and good team surrounding us.
Because normally, if you look at some cultures, well, they have more of a flat line business structure, and then sometimes it's more hierarchical. And how would you say you are with your team and your network around you?
I don't think it's entirely flat. We have heads off in each department, running their own department. But then I think we definitely have a culture of where everyone has lots of autonomy and own responsibilities. So I think there's definitely a vertical structure, but definitely not too corporate, I would say.
Okay, yeah, because you can tell as well with your brand, it's very vibrant, it's very colourful. It comes out in all of your products as well. This is another flavour that I really love. It's
Nice.
the cranberry and ginger tonic. I just love them. So I could just drink them on their own as well, just a few of them in a week. You know, when you want a refreshing drink and just have one of those, you can just it's like you said, a standalone drink as well.
Definitely see more and more that people are drinking it also just on its own, and not just with alcohol. So that's definitely a growing occasion for our consumers.
Yeah. And also, what is your day-to-day like as a founder? Kind of, you know, a bit more in detail, like what time do you get up? How are your days set up? Are they very structured, or are they, you know, very different in terms of the variety of what you do?
I think every day is very different. And we generally kind of wake up at around 7. We start working at around 8. And mostly in the from about 8 to 1 or 2, we kind of do team meetings, Zoom meetings, kind of admin. And then noon usually is face-to-face meetings. Obviously, it's still not at the same rate of face-to-face meetings as it was pre-COVID. But trying to do as many face-to-face as possible. And really going into events and like it used to be before COVID, because I think it's very different to try to build a network over Zoom or over video call. It's so different. So yeah, trying to do as much face-to-face as possible, either in the evenings or just in meetings with prospects and customers and suppliers and colleagues.
I heard also during the COVID time, you two I think got into running a lot. Is that correct?
True, yeah. We started running just to be outside because we were in a tiny flat in London. So just to get some outside air.
Yeah.
Out life, we can go outside again. I'm not running as much as I used to.
Yeah, it's a bit different as well here, because like when you are in, say, the Netherlands, you have that kind of more a structure and pathways for cycling, you know, because it's very built for that kind of environment. But when you're in London, it's not as easy to be able to just, you know, pop on a bike and just to cycle with so much nature around you or countryside.
Yeah, true.
With the also being so global now, how have you navigated the cultural differences? Because I know, you know, for example, it's very I know this is generalizing, but it's very worldly known that the Dutch women are very direct and very openly opinionated. And it can come across sometimes to other people that it may be a bit forward. But it's just an honest opinion, and that's just how it is, like their intent. So how have you navigated your way around this?
I think it's definitely true. And I think there's a big cultural difference between the Netherlands and, for example, the UK. And I think indeed in the Netherlands, there's more of a culture of being very straightforward and being very direct. And in Britain, maybe there's more of a culture of being more polite and everything in a softer
Approach.
in a softer package.
Yes.
So I think that's definitely we needed to adjust a bit to that when we started a company in the UK. And I think there's nothing wrong with adjusting ourselves. And I think in other countries, we have mostly distribution partners. So they are more kind of leading the way and kind of driving their own culture. And I think it's just definitely not always easy, but try to adjust as much as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Because with my communications business, we also do courses with that from if businesses want to work with more Asian cultures. So it is a very different kind of way of communicating. And I think the main point is just to kind of understand where people are coming from.
Yeah.
People might perceive it differently, but actually the intent is different to what they think. But yeah, it's a really interesting way to see when you do work with such a global brand. What is your website that people can go on and purchase your drink?
www.doubledutchdrinks.com or .eu if you're in Europe.
Okay. And do you have any social medias as well and any other places?
Yes, we have Double Dutch Drinks on Instagram and our LinkedIn and Facebook.
And you can be found in literally so many restaurants and bars, and people will not be able to miss you guys because your drinks are wonderful and they taste so delicious. And I think you are now the leaders in the field from what I've experienced from many years drinking it, and now as well with your new flavors. So yeah, it's a wonderful time as well to get them because it's also Christmas coming up. On your website, do you have any recipes that maybe the audience can try and make?
Yes, easy recipes with 2-3 steps for when you're hosting with Christmas to just make it a little bit different than your regular gin and tonic and impress your guests as a host. We've got some really easy recipes on there. There's lots of inspiration there.
Okay, guys, so you should go on there and have a check out of their website, and you can purchase their drinks there as well. And thank you so much today for joining me and giving a bit of insight into your brand as well.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye.